Good evening and welcome to the MTV News for Monday, the 7th of February. Of course, it's been Independence Day, and coming up in the top stories, Grenada's 48th Independence Parade, limited by pandemic, still has attracted hundreds virtually. Prime Minister boasts of Grenadians' resilience during COVID-19 pandemic. Sour Serpent wins 4th Independence Calypso Monarch title. And in sport, the Windward's Volcanoes arrive in Trinidad for West Indies Championships. We'll have details to those and other stories coming up for you right after the break, so of course stay with us.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere.
The first segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with GUT Cooperative Credit Union. It's where you belong.
In an effort to serve you better, GUT Credit Union has moved its Grandans branch from the Lamaki complex to the Excel Plaza. This new location provides more convenient parking with access from 2 entrances. The first is from the lower parking area and the second is at the top parking area on the same level as our office for easy walk-in access. Visit GUT Credit Union at our new location and experience the comfortable atmosphere with the enhanced member experience you have come to expect of us. Our Grandans office is open 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. We hope to see you soon. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Welcome back with the news in detail. I'm Tony Julian. First up this evening, of course, a true celebration of pride and patriotism. For yet another year under the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, Grenada celebrated its 48th independence anniversary. Today's celebration was begun just after 9 this morning at the National Stadium with a scaled-down parade, or military parade specifically, and no spectators at the National Stadium. And though the celebration was curtailed somewhat, organizers put on quite a spectacle as thousands watched from home, on the Spice Isle and throughout the diaspora. Let's get more on this from Rachel Bain.
Overcoming our adversity, safeguarding livelihoods, protecting our future. The theme as Grenada celebrates its 48 years since it became an independent country. The celebration was held at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium with no spectators due to the circumstance of COVID-19. Normally, there is an Independence Expo and cultural activities are held after the ceremony, but due to COVID-19, the cultural activity had to be held virtually and separate from the official ceremony. The ceremony this morning at the National Stadium, while it was a scaled-down version of what it used to be, there was a packed schedule. Here are some highlights from this morning's activity.
Today, sisters and brothers, represents yet another momentous occasion in our country's history. As we celebrate 48 years as an independent nation, notwithstanding the bumps along the road that threatened to derail our progress, our beloved country has recorded many milestones in the past 4 decades. Therefore, there is much to be proud of as we approach our half century as a nation.
For MTV News, Rachel Bain.
Overcoming all adversity, safeguarding livelihoods, protecting our future. That was the theme for Grenada's 48th independence. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell delivered a bittersweet independence address to the nation, speaking of the impact of COVID-19, but also highlighting some of the country's milestones amidst this deadly pandemic.
During his speech at the 2022 Independence Celebration at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell boasted of how resilient Grenadians are as a people, which is one of the country's strongest areas. Pointing to the education system as one of the hardest hit sectors, Dr. Mitchell highlighted that the children were disrupted the most during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, through it all, they continue to excel.
Our young boys and girls have been deprived of the social interaction that is so necessary to foster good human relations. We just need to reflect, sisters and brothers, on our own childhood and how we valued meeting our friends at school and participating in various sporting and leisurely activities.
The Prime Minister gave kudos to the people of Grenada, especially during the pandemic, which has contributed to economic and in some instances social losses.
At the national level, had it not been for government prudent fiscal management and the sacrifices of you, the people of this country, the impact of the pandemic could have been even more detrimental. However, almost 2 years to this day, when the pandemic first reached our shores, we persevere, confident that this too shall pass.
As Grenada continues to battle with the reality that COVID-19 is here to stay, the Prime Minister says that the country needs a solid partnership between the government and its people.
Government and people working side by side as we seek to overcome this adversity, safeguarding lives and livelihoods, and creating a legacy for future generations.
MTV News, Vanessa Pancho.
The Royal Grenada Police Force had some tricks up their sleeve as Grenada celebrated 48 years as an independent nation. Here are some of the highlights of the men and women in uniform at the National Stadium today. Grenadians are well known for their patriotism, which is often displayed boldly and proudly, even in the face of COVID-19. Entrepreneurs capitalize on this opportunity and express their creativity through t-shirts and other accessories, which are purchased by hundreds who just want to show off their homeland. MTV has been speaking with some Grenadians, both home and abroad.
I'd like to wish Grenada a really happy 48 years independence, and may God bless you.
Happy Independence, Grenada. Happy Independence, Grenada.
Happy Independence, Grenada. We are so happy to be here in the Independence Day. I like it so much. We're very interested how is the ceremony, and we saw some authority, the Prime Minister and the General Governor General. Yes, so we are happy to be here.
Okay, would you like to tell Grenada happy independence?
Sorry?
Would you like to tell Grenada happy independence?
Yes. Happy Independence, Grenada. Sí, feliz Independencia, Grenada.
I just want to wish all of the Grenadians, home and abroad, happy independence.
Grenada, look Grenada, independence. The Grenada independence.
That's the first segment of news. Still ahead, he did it again. Sour Serpent has retained his Independence Calypso Monarch title. We'll have that and other stories coming up for you right after the break.
The first segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with GUT Cooperative Credit Union. It's where you belong.
In an effort to serve you better, GUT Credit Union has moved its Grandance branch from the Lamaki complex to the Excel Plaza. This new location provides more convenient parking with access from two entrances. The first is from the lower parking area and the second is at the top parking area on the same level as our office for easy walk-in access. Visit GUT Credit Union at our new location and experience the comfortable atmosphere with the enhanced member experience you have come to expect of us. Our Grandance office is open 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. We hope to see you soon. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Win more with the NLA's Daily Cash 4 every day with more plays and bigger prizes to be won. It's a 4-digit game with all the bet types you already know and much more from 0000 to 9999. Choose your 4 numbers and place your bet from 11 different bet types. Choose from inline, 4 different mixes, first 3, last 3 and 4 different backup options too. Best of all, it starts at just $1, except for backups, which starts at $2. Win as much as $5,000 with a $1 inline bet and as much as $6,200 in a $2 backup bet. Imagine $50,000 for a winning $10 inline bet. There's definitely more to win with the Daily Cash 4. More plays, bigger prizes. Twice per day, Mondays to Saturdays. Must be 18 and over to participate. NLA, making your dreams come true while supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repair center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
No matter your beliefs, whatever your dreams, we all have one thing in common. We call these islands home. Beautiful Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martin. However, they are threatened by our actions. But we can collectively begin a new path in which our economic prosperity and well-being does not irreparably damage our islands. Let's use our natural resources in conscious and sustainable ways so that future generations too can enjoy our home. Let's care for our environment and keep it litter-free and beautiful. Let's all pledge to take action against climate change by changing our behavior and changing our lifestyles to protect our environment. Join us today and let's keep Grenada green and clean.
The second segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. To grow with us, save with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Welcome back, and still with Independence, yes. Well, the highlights: Sean Niles, affectionately known as Sour Serpent, has retained his title as Independence Monarch. This is the 4th consecutive year that Niles has taken the crown to the parish of St. David. While the event was held virtually due to COVID-19, it did attract several spectators via social media platforms.
The finals of Grenada 48 Independence Calypso competition took place last Friday, 4th February, virtually from the National Stadium. Sean Niles, also known as the Sour Serpent, once again captured first place in the Independence Calypso competition 2022, making it his 4th Independence Calypso title.
I know we love to spread propaganda, yes, and close by the river. So when COVID hit, we spread it like shit. People falling like moths with COVID blood clot. And when the numbers hit red, they say we should stop the spread. But I say no way. Come let me spread the value of civic awareness. So this nation's interest will be all of us business. And come let me spread all aspects of our culture. So our children would...
Minister for Sports and Fisheries, Yolande Bain Horsford, was present at the Calypso competition.
Of course, we are still living through a global pandemic which has impacted our independence celebrations. Nonetheless, we are grateful that we can have the Calypso competition virtually for the 2nd time.
Placing second at the competition was Sheldon Douglas.
Making sacrifice, all wholeheartedly. Tell me this now, are you ready to be a soldier on the front fighting for this land? It don't matter the day or hour, when she call you, do all you can. Are you ready to be that soldier? Together for one common goal, knowing all obstacles we could conquer. If we commit a heart and soul, now I say, for this nation cause, let your voice be heard.
There was a tie for third place between Samantha Dixon, also known as Royalty, and Philandi Jeffrey, also known as Stunner.
Cause we are stronger than before. We can do much more by safeguarding what we grow. To let Grenada glow, protect our future. This country's treasure. Time to show our colors and show the world we were built on strong pillars. Oh, so we can't give up, no way, we can't give up.
You see, food security really need a booster. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh, so that we could toil and go back to the soil. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh, let's share the booster, but not only for Corona. Let's share the booster.
Nikita Hostin, MTV News.
Grenada Independence Cultural Extravaganza 2022 was also one of the events leading up to Grenada's 48th independence celebrations. The event that was held on Saturday night virtually at the National Stadium.
The second virtual Independence Extravaganza was held on Sunday at the National Stadium. Overcoming our adversity, safeguarding livelihood, and protecting our future is the theme for this year's 48th Independence. The 2022 extravaganza saw many performances from cultural icons, dancers, and musicians.
The Royal Grenada Police Force is happy with the reduction of crime here in Grenada in this other development. According to the Commissioner of Police, Edwin Martin, while it is trying time for policing in Grenada due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the country's crime rate still remains low with a reduction of 3%. Commissioner Martin says the Royal Grenada Police Force was able to clamp down on illegal immigrants and on drugs.
We have successfully contributed to continued existence of a relatively stable crime environment, characterized by a 3% in total reduction of reported crimes. Homicides contracted by 70%. We have also achieved an unprecedented 79% crime-solving rate. We were also able to effectively protect our borders from criminal elements. We removed 16 illegal firearms and a quantity of illegal narcotics from the streets, at the same time ensuring that those offenders were brought to justice. The RGPF also intercepted 37 illegal immigrants, many of whom were involved in criminal activities, and had them deported. Notwithstanding our successes, some formidable challenges remain.
Speaking at the RGPF ribbon and medal ceremony, Commissioner Martin stressed on the issue of sexual violence in the country. He also expressed concern over regular reports of runaway teens,
including the persistent and pervasive pestilence of sexual crimes and violence against our women and children. In this context, I am concerned about the increasing reports of domestic violence. The family unit is the foundation on which the structure of our society is built. And the home should be the safest place for everyone to find love, happiness, and comfort. I am equally uneasy with the apparent growing trend of female minors leaving their homes unannounced for days. This issue seems to be multidimensional at its root. We must therefore ask ourselves, what is fueling this phenomenon? Is it circumstances within the home? Is it peer pressure? Is it a lack of values and self-control? Is it a case of exploitation of the vulnerabilities of young and impressionable minds? Or is it a combination of all? Whatever the problem, we need to identify the root cause and fix it quickly.
Education stakeholders continue to develop strategies to get Grenadians employed. TVET, that's a technical and vocational education and training organization. They provide knowledge and skills for employment. Now, TVET is focused on transitions. It aims to therefore provide learners, both students and adults alike, with skills for work and life. UNESCO. It is a critical plank in the move toward lifelong learning for all, and it aims to provide equal opportunities for all young people and adults to learn. The Grenada National Training Agency, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, will be developing for Grenada a national TVET policy, and also a series of consultations will be held in the coming weeks. That will be to put the TVET policy framework together with consultations. The consultations themselves will be held from the 14th to the 18th of this month, February, and Gordon Williams, Monitoring and Evaluation Officer at the Grenada National Training Agency, explains for us the purpose of the stakeholder consultation from the 14th to the 18th of February.
The modern era of the technological advancement and the drive for sustainable development have increased the need for technical and vocational skills to position itself on track toward global competitiveness and social resilience. Grenada must improve the productivity of its labor market through the development of market-driven skills and by bolstering its TVET system. The government is committed to continue its effort to the advance of the TVET sector as a strategic national priority and as part of its overall educational system upgrade here in Grenada. The Ministry of Education has been focusing on the areas for effective education delivery through a series of policy initiatives. One such initiative is a comprehensive review of the TVET policy framework to ensure quality TVET provision through Grenada for meeting local, regional, and international skills demands.
Williams spoke too of the TVET policy and how it began in 2019.
In 2019, the process of developing this TVET policy would have started. It started with a TVET policy review, which was done in 2019 and completed in 2021. And it took that long because of the COVID situation that had existed. But here we are at this critical stage after that was done. A recommendation coming from the TVET policy review that we should go ahead and develop our national TVET policy. The process of this actual policy development started last year in August of last year, 2021, where we did the first part of this policy. And this policy has some different segments. The first part was where we evaluated all of the relevant documents, especially with special focus on the TVET policy and the National Sustainable Development Plan 2020 to 2035, and other regional thematic documents were used and reviewed to inform the policy. That was the first phase. Drafting of the key policy areas inclusive of context, guiding framework, and priority lines of action, strategies, and cost-cutting areas was also done.
In some other news this evening, farmers on the Western Corridor will soon be able to access a wide variety of plants at one propagation station in Guave, including avocados, which, according to one agronomist, will soon be available in early varieties during the planting season.
Troy Augustine, agronomist at the Maran Propagation Station in Guave, St. John, said farmers in that part of the island will no longer have to travel to outer parishes to purchase plants, as they will soon be available in different varieties for the commencement of the plant distribution season. Speaking to MTV News on Wednesday, Augustine said they are currently in the process of developing different varieties of avocado plants, which continue to be in high demand.
So today we're highlighting one of the plants that we have started multiplying, which are avocados. And to get the avocado to a place where it's ready for sale, to start the whole process, you first have to collect the seeds, clean the seeds, remove the outer coating of the seeds, put it in a bag, and then it sprouts.
He said in its early stages of propagation, several shoots can emerge from an avocado seed due to varying factors.
One thing about avocados is that they can develop multiple shoots. Mango has the same potential. It is basically cell division has taken place at causing shoot development. And if you have a very, very good soil, a very good potting mix, you can get sometimes up to 7 shoots.
However, all these shoots may not survive, Augustine said, and as a result, grafting will take place to ensure the remaining plant survives and is viable for the local market.
They would remove a few of them, almost leave one, and from that process, you have the grafting taking place. So you have the rootstock, which is from the seed, and you have the scion, which is from the mother plant. So you want a plant that is bearing, for example, an olive variety called Palak. We have these varieties propagated here, so farmers can purchase them. When the season comes in, they can get olive varieties.
He says the early varieties tend to be in high demand by farmers for the commencement of the season, including the late varieties, so farmers can have in excess towards the end of the season.
That's the second segment of news. Still ahead, the regional roundup.
The second segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. To grow with us, save with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
For your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way, Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6
even more.
With more money to the jackpot galore.
Play more, win more.
Have more fun. With more jackpot money, Super 6 is my number one. With the new and improved Super 6 game.
The jackpot keep growing and growing and growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way, Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
No matter your beliefs, whatever your dreams, we all have one thing in common. We call these islands home. Beautiful Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. However, they are threatened by our actions. But we can collectively begin a new path in which our economic prosperity and well-being does not irreparably damage our islands. Let's use our natural resources in conscious and sustainable ways so that future generations too can enjoy our home. Let's care for our environment and keep it litter-free and beautiful. Let's all pledge to take action against climate change by changing our behavior and changing our lifestyles to protect our environment. Join us today and let's keep Grenada green and clean.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Arizo Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
January 1947 saw the dawn of a new day, the birth of the Grenada Civil Service Credit Union, later renamed the Grenada Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, and more recently, Arizo. Arizo is extremely proud to be celebrating this significant milestone. But this would not have been possible without you. And this is why we are inviting you to celebrate with us as we celebrate 75 years of transforming lives. Stay tuned to our social media platforms and our local media houses to learn more of the activities and events that we have in store for you. As we celebrate this journey, we thank all our stalwarts for their valued contributions in bringing us to where we are today. We look forward to serving you for many more years. Let's celebrate 75 years of transforming lives.
And time now for news from across the region.
Good evening with tonight's MTV Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James. Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, has expressed sympathy to Venezuela after the killing of a migrant baby in the waters off Trinidad by the Coast Guard. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard said while conducting patrols along the south coast of Trinidad just before midnight on Saturday, the TTS Scarborough detected a vehicle crossing the border between Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela. Warning shots were also fired ahead of the vessel, and the vessel's pilot attempted to ram the Coast Guard boat. The Coast Guard crew in self-defense then shot at the vessel's engines. When the vessel stopped, Coast Guard officers found illegal migrants who remained hidden and were not seen before. Among them, one adult female indicated she was bleeding. She was holding an infant. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard says the injured female was stabilised and transferred to a local health facility, but regrettably, the infant was unresponsive. In a statement, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said, quote, "I just spoke to the Vice President of the Government of Venezuela. I conveyed our deepest sympathy to the family and the wider Venezuelan community at this time of grief over the loss of life of the young child at sea during security operations involving Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard and traffickers transporting illicit entrants." End of quote. Still in Trinidad, Prime Minister Rowley is encouraging the opposition to support the proposed whistleblower legislation that will address the culture of corruption in the country. Akash Samaru from CNC3 has more.
There is an overwhelming level of corruption in the society of Trinidad and Tobago.
It wasn't a question or speculation.
That is an unfortunate fact.
The Prime Minister said this is a country where hard-working, honest people may never get the riches they deserve. But then there's the other folks.
Put on a nice white cotton shirt, nice polished shoe, live in air condition, eating the best, drinking the best, driving the best, talking the best, and they are in fact the cancer in our society.
Dr. Rowley said in this land, everyone knows everyone's business.
Concept of Mako was probably originated here.
And the Prime Minister says there are right-thinking citizens who want to expose that corruption.
And we are here to give them the protection so they can talk about it.
And in taking example of other countries and their whistleblower law, like the 800 tips model, the PM said once this becomes law, there may be an option to get a reward to expose corruption in public office, where sometimes people may get between 5 to 10% of the funds they save the state.
Could you imagine if we had that on our books in Trinidad and Tobago?
But let's discuss what they're hoping goes on the books right now. The legislation seeks to protect whistleblowers by appointing an officer and a unit to take the reports, gives a legitimate whistleblower immunity from criminal and disciplinary proceedings. It also protects the identity of a whistleblower. But to get that protection, that person cannot do it anonymously. Let's look at the offenses. You can be charged for knowingly making a false disclosure, preventing someone from doing so, and destroying evidence. Those fines can range from $15,000 to $600,000. Now, such a big piece of proposed law needs opposition support to pass.
We will not do it.
UNC believes the requirement for a whistleblower to identify themselves will be a deterrent.
If you put a box in the workplace and tell people, put some complaints in that, Madam Speaker, put some complaints in that, they dare not go because they think the CCTV camera in the box. You are saying now, put it in writing and put your name.
And the opposition leader said the bill offers no protection if the whistleblower's identity is revealed.
But I'm not trembling. If anybody's trembling, it's on that side, not on this side. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. This law is very, very bad law.
Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
Meanwhile, in Jamaica, Prime Minister Andrew Holness Friday announced a new Get Every Illegal Gun campaign with a reward system being put in place allowing for as much as $500,000. Holness said the initiative is part of his administration's fight against crime and that as much as $250,000 Jamaican dollars and $500,000 Jamaican dollars will be paid for illegal weapons. The Prime Minister appealed to people who are in possession of illegal weapons to give them up. Young men will be the key demographic target of the campaign, which stakeholders say aims to educate the population on the dangers of illegal guns and dissuade people from dealing, trafficking, procuring, possessing and using such weapons. Clifton James, MTV Regional Roundup.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
January 1947 saw the dawn of a new day, the birth of the Grenada Civil Service Credit Union, later renamed the Grenada Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, and more recently, Ariza. Ariza is extremely proud to be celebrating this significant milestone. But this would not have been possible without you. And this is why we are inviting you to celebrate with us as we celebrate 75 years of transforming lives. Stay tuned to our social media platforms and our local media houses to learn more of the activities and events that we have in store for you. As we celebrate this journey, we thank all our stalwarts for their valued contributions in bringing us to where we are today. We look forward to serving you for many more years. Let's celebrate 75 years of transforming lives.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with the latest sporting highlights after the break.
Win more with the NLA's Daily Cash Fall. Every day with more plays and bigger prizes to be won. It's a 4-digit game with all the bet types you already know and much, much more. From 0000 to 9999. Choose your 4 numbers and place your bet from 11 different different bet types. Choose from inline, 4 different mixes, first 3, last 3, and 4 different backup options too. Best of all, it starts at just $1, except for backups, which starts at $2. Win as much as $5,000 with a $1 inline bet, and as much as $6,200 in a $2 backup bet. Imagine $50,000 for a winning $10 inline bet. There's definitely more to win with the Daily Cash 4. More plays, bigger prizes. Twice per day, Mondays to Saturdays. Must be 18 and over to participate. NLA, making your dreams come true while supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
There is something new to the classic Wester Hall rum look. Wester Hall Estate Rum. What's your number? Drink responsibly.
Did you get your electricity bill to be so low? For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in. How do you know if it is working? We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Spring water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
Good evening to you, sporting fans. We have Rachel Bain now with this evening's sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. India beat West Indies by 6 wickets after bowling the tourists out for 176 in the first one-day international. West Indies slumped to 79 for 7 before Jason Holder made 57 to drag his side up to a respectable total in Ahmedabad. Spinners Yuzira Vendera Chahal and Washington Sundar shared 7 wickets in what was India's 1000th ODI. In reply, new skipper Rohit Sharma top scored with 60 after sharing an 84-run opening, standing with Ishan Kishan as India cruised home in the 28th over. Former captain Holder reached a landmark of 2,000 ODI runs during his half-century before being dismissed by Prashid Krishna. The second game of the 3-match series will take place on Wednesday at the same venue. The Windward Volcanoes team has arrived in Trinidad for their opening matches of the 2022 West Indies Championships. The Windwards face the Guyana Harpy Eagles in the first round at the Queen's Park Oval from the 9th to the 12th of February. They will then come up against TNT Red Force in the second round at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy from the 16th to the 19th of February. The Windward's Volcanoes is led by Kevin Hodge with Karen Kotoy as vice captain. The squad includes veteran Devon Smith as 3 uncapped players in leg spinner Darrell Cyrus and batsman Teddy Bishop and Akeem Auguste. Auguste captain the West Indies during the recently concluded ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup, while Bishop scored 100 against Zimbabwe in the West Indies final match in Digomartin last Monday. Former Windward Islands captain Liam Sebastian has joined it as team manager, while former batsman John Eugene is the new assistant coach. Barbadian Shirley Clark, the father of West Indian batsman Kyle Mayers, was recently appointed as head coach. The Windward Islands team has never won the regional 4-day title, but players from the territories were part of the combined islands team that won the title in 1980 to 1981. And in some local cricket now, Saturday's results of the Oliver Joseph St. David T20 tournament. Royal Strikers versus Malmont. Royal Strikers 113 and Malmont won by 7 wickets with 116 for 3. And Super Kings versus Sixers. Sixers 6-3. Super Kings 131 for 5. Kings won by 68 runs. And finally in sports, Sadio Mane netted the winning spot kick as Senegal beat Egypt 4-2 on penalties to clinch their first ever Africa Cup of Nations after the final ended goalless following extra time. The Liverpool forward had earlier seen a 7th-minute penalty saved by Pharaoh's keeper Gabaski. Chelsea's Edouard Mendy denied Mohamed Lachine to give Mane the chance to win it. Gabaski had made 3 good saves from Senegal's Bamba Dieng in extra time, and in a match billed as a battle between Liverpool forwards Mane of Senegal and Egypt captain Mohamed Salah, it was the former who had the decisive word. After 2 previous final defeats, Senegal are Africa Cup of Nations winner at last, while Egypt missed out on a record extending 8th continental crown that would also have been a first for Salah. And that has brought us to the end of MTV's Evening Sports. I am Rachel Bain.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for the latest there in sport. And viewers, we'll have the public forecast information for you, then a recap of the top stories when we return.
My name is Hollis Map. I perform around the world. And when I travel, I book with CaribJet.
Call CaribJet now. 100% Grenadian, operating 30 years plus.
Telephone number 439-4444 in Grenada or click caribjet.com. CaribJet, True Blue St. George's. The number 1 for travel.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
And now to end the news, a recap of the headlines. Grenada's 48th Independence Parade limited by pandemic still attracted hundreds virtually. Prime Minister has boasted of Grenadians' resilience during COVID-19 pandemic. Sour Serpent, well, congratulations to him on winning the 4th Independence Calypso Monarch title. And in sport, Windward's Volcanoes have arrived in Trinidad for the West Indies Championships. It's all on behalf of the news and production departments that I'm Tony Julian. We thank you so very much for viewing. Continue to enjoy what's left of Independence celebrations, and here's to a blessed and productive week ahead. Right here on MTV, we once again wish you a good night.